What's going on, guys? JPP2 here. Hope you guys are enjoying your Monday. And for today's gameplay, we have a Prank Kids versus a branded Despia with me as the prankster going first. Now, once again, this is going to be another 60 cards deck list, 60 cards deck video. And this is going to be an insane 100 LP comeback with my opponent having an insanely cracked hand. You guys will see what I mean. Let's get on with the replay. So, since you guys already know the Prankets combo, I'm going to fast forward my whole combo. I have a Prankets combo starter card in my hand, and I do have a Prankets Pranks in my hand, so I'm going to be pitching out a Pandemonium off of my Fansies, and with the Doodle-Doo, I will be searching for a Prankets Plays. Now, I do make a mistake in this combo. Don't get me wrong, I'm not always perfect with my combos. Call it a misplay or whatever you guys want, but it did happen. Usually when you are doing this combo, you want to activate Pranket's Place if you have Pranket's Place in your hand to search you for a copy of Roxy's. Because looking at my hand, if I want to go into the Nemesis Corridor activation to go into my Thunder Dragon Colossus to card search lock my opponent, I need to banish a monster from my hand. And the only monster I have in my hand aside from the Corridor itself is the Ash Blossom. So if I had searched for the Roxy's after the Pranket's Place, I could have banished out the Roxy's, saving the Ash in my hand. But I did not do that. And since I wanted to get the card search lock on my opponent, I decided I'll just banish out the Ash Blossom from my hand anyways. I'm going to use the Pranket's Place, search for a copy I need for the Butler combo, and get it to my hand. We're going to activate the Corridor, recycle out the Ash Blossom, go into our Colossus, set down the Pandemonium, activate Pranks, recycle 3 cards, and call it a turn. Now let's go into our opponent's turn. Obviously, we do want to activate the Bow Wow on the opponent's draw phase or standby phase. Do not wait until the main phase. It will be extremely bad for you if you do that. To get the 2 cards we require for the Butler combo, add them to our hand. Now, this guy started with an insanely cracked hand, but he butchers it up completely, okay? Watch what happens. He starts with a Harpy's Feather Duster. Now, this is one of the replays I had in a long losing streak when I was streaming. I went on an 8 games losing streak because my opponent always started with a one-off in their hand. They would win coin tosses and start with either Harpies or cross-out in their hand every single game of those 8 games. But Harpies means that if we want to go into our Butler, we have to use Pandemonium right now. So I use the Pandemonium, take the 3 cards for the Butler combo, send it to the graveyard. We put the copy of Butler on the field. Now we get our graveyard activation. So we activate Fansies, Lamsies, and Dropsies. And since the opponent does not control any monster, we cannot even use the Butler pop. And watch what the opponent opens up. Harpy's Feather Duster straight away into Super Polymerization. Now I control 2 fusion monsters on the field, so you guys know he's going to take away both my fusion monsters, go off into Draco's Stapelia. And he even has a chain to pitch from his hand, which is insane, because this chain we're searching for a Frankfurt Patchwork, Frankfurt Patchwork we're searching for a Poly plus another chain. So with this, usually you want to put 2 copies of Dropsies on the field from your graveyard activations, but I chose not to do it for obvious reasons, because the opponent will be able to push past our whole field. And we cannot deny him anything with our Butler pop, since it got taken away. So I put 2 copies of Roxy's plus 1 of Fansies. The chain activates, to which we chain our own Butler. We're going to pull out a copy of Bow Wow Bark from the graveyard and put it on the field. A 2k attack monster, which I hope that he can't get over. Obviously, that's not going to happen. He does have a way to get over it with the Draco's Stapelia or into any other card he goes up into. So the Frankfurt Patchwork, as I said before, searches for Poly plus the Edge of Chain, and then he uses Poly to go off into a Chimera. So Chimera comes in the field. The Chimera cannot pop any cards because all of our back row is already gone through Harpy's Feather Duster, and all our Prankets monsters are immune to destruction through card effects because our Bow Wow Bark pop did go through initially on the opponent's draw phase. But this guy will still be drawing 2 cards from the Chimera. So Tragedy will search him for an Eluber. Mind you, he did all this without committing his normal summon, okay? He still has not used up his normal summon. He cleared out my whole field just by using cards from his hand without committing normal summon. So he searches for the Eluber, and he tries to destroy my Bow Wow Bark with the Chimera. Obviously, I told you guys it's not going to get destroyed, so it fizzles out. Then he normal summons out a Fawn of Albaz from his hand, pitches a copy of Lightning Storm from his hand. This guy had Lightning Storm as well, or he drew into a Lightning Storm, whichever the reason. Insanely cracked hand. Fawn of Albaz will take away a monster from our side as well, go off into a Mirror Jade. So he takes off the Bow Wow Bark, goes off into Mirror Jade. He's going to activate Mirror Jade, pitch out the Albion, make my Fansies on the field get banished. Then he activates Branded in Red. Like, you guys understand how cracked this hand is? He did all of this. He didn't even need to commit his normal summon to the play. That's how cracked this guy's hand was. He broke open my full field completely. So with the battle phase, he could obviously kill off all my cards. So he's going to do just that. Kills off my Roxy's, kills off my other Roxy's, whacks me in the face for 3.3k with the Chimera. At this point, I was on the verge. I was literally teetering on the verge of scooping. I even did the settings. Do I want to scoop? I did that 3 or 4 times when my opponent was doing his combo, and I was like, you know what? I might as well stick it out, see what happens. And trust me sticking around is what won me the game. You guys will understand what I mean. So he's going to use the Tax Dragon plus the Chimera. Now this, mind you, is an extremely greedy play, okay? He goes into Predaplan, Verte, and Anaconda. He's going to activate Predaplan, Verte. He is going to pitch a Neos Fusion. This means I know the Rainbow Neos is now coming on the field. So there it is, Rainbow Neos. I was not expecting this, but once I saw this card, I'm thinking, if this guy activates the wrong effect of this card, we will be able to mount a comeback against this guy. And guess what? He uses the worst effect of this card. It reads, which one? Send one card from the top of your deck to the graveyard. Shuffle all cards from your opponent's graveyard into their deck. Prank Kids are limited to one Meowmoo. If this guy just ends his turn with this, we would just lose the game. I have no comebacks from this, okay? Not a single comeback from this. But guess what? He utilizes the Rainbow Neos' effect to pitch one card from the top of his deck to recycle out my entire graveyard. This means our Meowmoo's back, our Colossus is back, our Butler's back, our Bow Wow's back, our Doodle-Doo's back. Every single card I use for my combo is back in my deck. That means now we can go into our combo and punish this guy heavily for doing this play. He activates Albion at the end of the turn, sets down Branded in Red, and then the turn passes over to me. So first order of business obviously is to try to bait out the Branded in Red. So the first order I do is I activate Corridor, recycle out the banished Fansies to special itself on the field, not committing my normal summon. Go into my Colossus. Now again, this was all a bait. I was really hoping to bait out the Branded in Red. Otherwise we would have lost the game if he saved his Branded in Red to commit to my normal summon. Over here, he commits his Branded in Red. I don't know why, he just commits it. And he even activates the Tax Dragon from the graveyard, putting itself on the field, because I now control a fusion monster. He gets the Fawn of Albaz back to his hand, and then goes off into a Starving Venom. Starving Venom is going to copy my Thunder Dragon Colossus effect, and to which over here, I just Dark Ruler no more my opponent. The reason for Dark Ruling no more my opponent is that the effect copied from the Thunder Dragon Colossus does make it so that I cannot search for cards, which I don't want happening. In all honesty, I don't want that happening. So I just Dark Rule no more my opponent, take away the Starving Venom's effect from the field, start going into my combo. Now mind you, I could have killed my opponent this turn itself, because I had enough gas in my hand to kill my opponent, but since we Dark Ruler no more our opponent, we cannot kill him. Also, the Lamses effect cannot be activated for a special summon because the opponent will take no damage, again, courtesy of Dark Ruler no more. So we start going into our combo. We go into Doodly-Doo, activate Dropsies, chain block with our Doodly-Doo. It resolves, no Ash, no Veiler, nothing. We search for our pranks. Dropsy is going to heal us for 1k, special out Roxy's. Go into my Bow Wow Bark, activate Roxy's, and this time I'm going to banish out the small world in my hand. Don't need it anymore. Draw into an evenly match. And then using all the cards on the field, I thought, you know what? I do not want this card being on the field. Reason being that next turn the Mirror Jade is online. He could banish one card on the field, right? Don't want that happening. Rainbow Neo's another card. I don't want it on the field. Another thing is Starving Venom. Starving Venom, you do not want on the field threat as well, because if you cannot protect your cards with Bow Bark Pop, that means they are not immune to card destruction effects. So this card, if it goes to the graveyard, it's going to destroy my whole field. Same with this card, since it is summoned properly. If this card is destroyed, every single card on my side of the field gets destroyed as well at the end of my turn. So we're going to activate the Borrowed Sword. We're going to put the Starving Venom in face-up defense, whack into the Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade activates. I'm going to whack into the Rainbow Neos as well. Now I know the Rainbow Neos is immune to destruction through battle because of the Neos fusion in the graveyard, which the opponent can banish to prevent the destruction, but I'm okay with that as well, because Borrowed Sword itself is immune to destruction through battle. I was just hoping for this to happen. So, with this main phase 2, I activate Pranks. I'm going to Thunder Dragon Fusion, go into my Butler, and I am just going to pop the Butler right now, because my whole field will get popped at the end of this turn. So I'm going to pop my whole field, Starving Venom activates, it's going to pop my special summon monsters, and Mirror Jade's effect is already fizzled out. I have no monsters on the field. So at this point, it becomes a top deck situation. So, the opponent draws a card, draws into a Poly, I guess, and the cards he had in his hand were a Tragedy, plus I believe a Fallen of Albaz. So with that, he goes into Quiritis. Tragedy activates, gets him the Aluber. Aluber searches for the Branded Fusion. But if he uses Branded Fusion and he goes into Lubellion, Lubellion cannot activate because he does not have a card to pitch in his hand to activate Lubellion. He pitches a Malicious from his deck to the grave, so Malicious can banish itself to special out another copy of Malicious. Now this was extremely heavy on my mind, okay? This guy was off by 100 attack to lethal me. I am down to 100 life points. Dude, like I was so stressed out when my opponent's turn was going on. I was like, bro, if he has it, he has it. He kills me this turn. Thankfully, even with all the combo, he did not have it. I'm down to 100 life points. Let's see if I can mount a comeback. Now I draw into a Thunder Dragon Fusion, not a combo starter card whatsoever. But, if you guys recall, with the Pranks recycle, I recycled out my Meowth. Because I know if I do not draw into a combo starter card, I would still have a Thunder Dragon Fusion in the graveyard to banish to search for my combo starter card, which is Fancies. So I do just that, normal it out, start going into my combo. And once I'm going into my combo, my opponent realizes that this game is not going to be winnable at this point because I can go into Butler, pop my opponent's field completely again, and then still set up my board next turn. So with that, knowing that, the opponent just scoops out, he calls it a GG, and that's it for today's game, guys. If you guys do enjoy this kind of videos, please consider hitting the like button, subbing to my channel for more daily prank video uploads, and if you guys are interested in a live version of all of this, I do live stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/jpbduel. Link along with my schedule and a link to my Discord will be in the video description itself for you guys to check out. This is JPBDuel signing out for today. I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Peace!